When it comes to Sasuke Uchiha, the frightening power that he wields isn't anything to turn your nose up at. Many Naruto fans acknowledge that if Sasuke wanted to take over the world, the only people strong enough to challenge him to a respectful fight would be 8th Gate Rock Lee and Hokage Naruto. However, currently in the Boruto series, Sasuke Uchiha has willingly gone undercover on an S-rank mission at a prison in the hopes of finding a cure for the chakra illness that's eating away at the health of Naruto at a very rapid rate. What should have been a simple infiltration mission to snoop around the area that the Sage of Six Paths once lived in when he was sick with the very same illness that Naruto has quickly turns out to be more troublesome than Sasuke could have ever imagined. Just like it tends to be the case on every S-rank mission, the mission parameters quickly change and Sasuke finds himself presented with a problem that he wasn't expecting to face when he first arrived at the prison. In today's video, I'm going to share with you guys the deadly secret to the prison that Sasuke is currently at and hopefully provide an answer to why Sasuke attempting to escape from this prison while undercover proved to be more troublesome than any of us could have ever imagined. The information was given to us in the newest Sasuke novel that was released in Japan earlier this month, Sasuke Retsuden, the Uchiha Descendants in Heavenly Stardust. This novel has proven to be so popular over in Japan that not only was it #1 on several different charts, but it also demanded a second reprinting of the novel just after a week it was released. In the scene I'm going to share with you guys, we learn just what makes this prison so different than what we could have imagined. A lot of people like to think that this prison was similar to the one that we saw in Naruto Shippuden's Blood Prison movie, but to be honest, the prison that Naruto was sent in that movie looks like a field trip compared to the one that Sasuke is currently in. In this scene, Sasuke is standing in a throng of prisoners who, watch as an escapee, is brutally ripped to shreds and devoured by one of the strangest beasts that we've ever encountered in the Naruto universe. For anyone hoping that this novel might make it into the anime, given how graphic this scene is, I'll say that if the anime does adapt this novel, then this scene is going to be reworked in a way that doesn't push the envelope for the time slot that the Boruto anime is currently running in. Before I dive into the scene, I want to give credit to Bethany Rose and I want to give her my thanks for the extremely hard work that she's done translating this novel word by word, and I cannot stress how hard this is. Translating Japanese to English is an extremely hard task to do, with literally it being one of the hardest languages for native English speakers to learn. If you haven't already, make sure to thank her over on Twitter, and it's here I'm gonna begin quoting. His fangs sticking out the man's body. He landed with a sound, angrily opening his jaws. The man's body drops to the ground. Another man runs for his life trying to escape, crushing him while he rolls on the ground. The talons sink into his shoulder blades and drag him further along, stopping at the courtyard and opening its massive red mouth. The jaws close down on the man's right shoulder. Ah! The man screamed and he let his body go. Like a piece of meat, blood drips down his stomach, forming a red puddle at his feet. If you want to make devouring a human easy, you eat it as fast as you can. The meat of the man's lower back is torn off with utter ease, his muscles pulled apart like fibers of a thread. Still alive, the man cried out as he buried his head and his face in the sand beneath him, screaming. To discourage deserters, the beast purposely drags the body to the courtyard to be seen by the other prisoners. If you try to run away, this will be your fate as well. Wow, oh no. I'm still alive! I'm still alive! I'm sorry! The prisoners, who carry a pickaxe on their shoulders, look at the scene in the distance, hiding their rolling eyes. When the beast, who was tearing the meat like it was for fun, reached his entrails, the sound of the blood splashing all around was all that could be heard, as the man's scream finally faded into silence. Well, that's the least of our worries. Too much curiosity in this crowd, I tell you. Remember, we need to get up early. The low voice behind the crowd made the workers cower all at once. A slender man with silver-rimmed glasses slowly walks from the building. The director of the Astronomy Research Institute, Zanzaro. He is the chief officer here, the king of the base. Standing here like a bunch of sitting ducks. If you don't move quickly, you'll all be that beast's dessert. The workers knew that this was a joke. They couldn't help but turn and pale. Zanzaro's light tone was almost horrific. While everyone scattered back to their respective locations, Sasuke closely observed the beast. The lizard beast shakes its long massive tail, balancing its upper body and head on its fleshy stomach. Its face, covered with hard skin, becomes flushed with red specks of yellow shine on the skin. The giant carnivore of the prison directly obeys Director Zanzaro faithfully. The massive lizard, with its bipedal walk, thick leather skin, covered with horns, cone-shaped fangs and sharp claws, measuring from the top of the head to the tip of its tail. 2 more meters add to its stature. The beast's leg strength is incredible. 2 legs that form under its body are like ridiculous springs. One stride will take the beast dozens of meters forward. This is a different type of prison. The patrolling guards don't watch the lives of the prisoners, never looking at them at any time. No locks on the cells where prisoners stay, nor the entrances to any of the buildings. Regardless, the prisoners who stay here obey the rules obediently. That lizard beast is the reason. Those who think that they could or want to escape from here are rarely seen again. The beast has a habit of monitoring inside of the site with such intensity in devouring any prisoner who dares to violate the rules, showing absolutely no mercy. End quote. Now you guys see why if the anime does decide to adapt this novel, which I do think is very possible given how popular this novel is over in Japan, it likely won't be placed into the anime, and if it's done, it's going to be done in a way that doesn't turn off the demographic for the time slot that Boruto's running in. Now I gotta say, man, this is pretty hardcore. The beast that Sasuke's observing is ripping limb from limb the prisoners who tried to escape, biting off huge chunks of their flesh, having blood drip down their bodies and pool at their feet. The man that we see is begging for his life, screaming that he's still alive, but no one dares to try and help him. The fact that they leave the cells unlocked shows how confident the prison is that no one would dare try to sneak around at night, let alone try to escape, because if anyone's caught by that beast, they will quickly find themselves being eaten up faster than Hinata slurps on the ramen noodle doodle of the 7th Hokage. However, despite the gruesome scenes before him, unlike the other prisoners, Sasuke doesn't turn pale at the sight that's before him. Instead, he watches with very keen eyes, taking in the appearance of the creature, studying it for a weakness, memorizing its patterns of the creature, and the reason being is that Sasuke knows that at some point he's going to have to take down this fearsome creature if he wants to move about freely in order to complete his mission to find a cure for the illness that's facing Naruto, racing against time and hoping against hope that he finds a cure before Naruto's life ends. What I really love about this is that Sasuke has subjected himself to something like this, all for the sake of Naruto. Just as Naruto defied the will of the Kages by trying to save Sasuke from the darkness, even after the Raikage called him a disgrace for bowing before him in order to plead for Sasuke's life, and even after the 6th Hokage elect, who was named by the feudal lord, Danzo himself had ordered that Sasuke should be killed for trying to take Killer Bee. Now, over 16 years later, we see Sasuke running through a figurative 7 realms of hell in order to find a cure for Naruto, showing that the bond between these two rivals runs a lot deeper than any of us could have imagined, which is very beautiful when you think about what their friendship has endured ever since the moment that Sasuke got the curse mark. But I want to know from you guys, do you think this scene should make it into the Boruto anime if they adapt this novel, and what are your thoughts so far about how far Sasuke is willing to go in order to get a cure for Naruto? But as always guys, if you like anything I had to say, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for watching all into the end. Have an awesome day, guys.